It's official. Contract cancellations are on the rise. In a lot of markets across the country, and we are no exception, cancellation rates can hit as high as 30%. And we know that listings with a lot of cancellations of contracts end up selling for less money. So today I want to share with you some of the things you can do to minimize the risk of having a buyer walk away. As an expert in real estate, I'm going to tell you some of those reasons, and I'm going to share with you what you can do to prevent the buyers from walking away from your contract. First up, buyer remorse. You know, the market is moving a lot slower than it once was, but believe me, that doesn't stop buyers from making rash and quick decisions about putting in offers and quickly falling in love and out of love with a home. Some of the things that compel buyers to make these rash decisions are market conditions, economic news, the election, a whole host of other things that make buyers feel like they got to do something as soon as possible or they're going to lose out. To prevent this, you can definitely ask your agent to vet the other side, vet the buyer's agent, vet the buyer, and vet the lender if there's a lender involved. Make sure your agent gets a pre-qualification loan or a pre-qualification letter if there's a mortgage, or a proof of funds if it's a cash deal. And have your agent call that lender and ask them, you know, how strong is the buyer? What did you do to qualify the buyer so that you could write this letter? And if it is a proof of funds, call the bank and verify that it's a valid proof of funds before you go into contract. We know that qualified buyers, or those that have legitimate proof of fund letters and that are motivated, are more likely to close. Number two, inspections. You know, this should have been number one, because the number one reason that deals fall apart is the home inspection and what is uncovered. You know, buyers may absolutely love your house and they may have every intention in the world of following through, but when that report comes and uncovers lots of problems, they get cold feet and they terminate. We don't want this to happen with your deal. This is especially true in our current market because buyers don't have a lot of extra free cash due to high interest rates and prices. To prevent this, I highly recommend a pre-listing inspection. This way you can take care of all those problems before you even put it on the market. And you may even gain some negotiation leverage in the deal. And number three, drawn out negotiations. The longer you negotiate with the buyer, the more likely it is that that buyer is going to get frustrated and get cold feet and walk. In my experience, most drawn out negotiations are the result of a low appraisal coming in. To avoid a low appraisal, ensure that your agent is doing a good market analysis for your home and determine a great price that'll not only get your house sold, but put more money in your pocket. Plus, if the agent does their homework correctly, if an appraisal does come in low, they'll have some ammunition to argue for that value with the appraiser. And number four, insurance. In our coastal market here, insurance can get quite crazy, and with all the storms and all the things that are happening all over the country, rates are going up quickly. Here we've got flood insurance problems and we have wind, aka hurricane insurance problems. Sometimes the wind is much worse than the flood on a house. So anything that you can do to mitigate high insurance rates on your home before you go on the market, you should do that. Things that you can do, cut limbs back from the home. If your roof is old or has problems, get those corrected, or maybe go ahead and put a new roof on, even if you can only recover the cost of that. In the grand scheme of things and time on market and falling through contracts, it might be worth it to go ahead and do those things. Get some insurance quotes in advance so that buyers can see what the rate will be, or at least close to what the rate will be. Because if it's too high for them, then there's no need to go in a contract and take your home off the market while they determine what that rate is. Another thing, you'll see agents, buyer agents, put in contracts that it's contingent on buyer finding satisfactory insurance, and this is understandable. However, ensure that your buyer agent time bounds that due diligence period to just a few business days. It doesn't take that long to get insurance quotes. You don't want them to take 2 or 3 weeks working on quotes only to determine that they're too high and that they can't make the deal work. Whether you're planning on selling soon or years down the road, it pays to plan ahead. Call or email me, and I'd love to come out, sit down, and talk to you about market conditions, staging, getting your house ready, and taking care of all these things that make buyers walk away from deals. I look forward to hearing from you.